A big story here on headlines today. Differences within the Election Commission are out in the open. Speaking exclusively to Karan Thapar, Election Commissioner HS Brahma has admitted to a huge blow to the poll panel's image after the Modi fiasco. More importantly, he says that while this ban on Narendra Modi's rally has created such a row, the Election Commission could have acted much faster to Arun Jaitley's 3 letters. This is an exclusive as the Election Commissioner spoke to Karan Thapar.
Mr. Brahma, focus a little on the problem you've had with the BJP. The BJP's primary complaint is that you denied permission to Narendra Modi to hold a rally in Benia Bagh in Varanasi. Now, given that rallies are the principal way candidates campaign, is it fair to deny a candidate a right to hold a rally in his own constituency?
Karan, to be honest with you, absolutely, I think I personally felt, because since we know, we came to know about the incident day before yesterday night on 7th evening, late in the evening. We are not aware about what transpired between our Mr. Jaitley and others, our senior colleagues. But definitely the mistake in that, I would personally, is my personal opinion, which I feel strongly. The mistake committed by our lower level officers formation, that is our RO and DO level, I think there is some sort of communication gap between our applicant, organizer and our DO or the RO of the Varanasi.
Javed Ansari now joins me in the studio. Javed, this is clearly shocking. At a time when we are going through elections, there seems to be differences within the Election Commission.
Yes, absolutely, and this is a bit unprecedented for one election commissioner to be speaking. He was present there last evening. I was at that press conference when the Chief Election Commissioner, along with Mr. Qureshi and Mr. Brahma, addressed the media. Mr. Brahma then chose to keep his powder dry, said nothing. Today he's spoken out. If there was a difference of opinion, he should have aired it within the commission itself.
No, but what does this point to? Does this point to personal differences within the Election Commission, or does this point to, as the BJP has been alleging, that the Election Commission is not neutral?
Well, so it will give rise to all manner of speculation, and perhaps it would have been, their purpose would have been better served if they had thrashed this out within the forum itself, within the commission, before going public. This will lend itself to all kinds of speculations and insinuations that perhaps, one election, the Chief Election Commissioner is going one way while the others are going the other.
No, not just that, Javed, doesn't this also run the risk? Now, we have results up ahead on the 16th of May. Doesn't this give a lot of room for political parties who perhaps might not have good showing at the hustings to then point fingers at the Election Commission?
Well, absolutely, and like I said, it opens the Election Commission to all kinds of questions, all kinds of insinuations and innuendos. And as it is, Mr. Brahma yesterday, in response to a question, while the CEC was saying that they've asked for a report from Amethi with regards to the fact whether Mr. Rahul Gandhi did or did not contravene the rules by appearing to examine an EVM, Mr. Brahma said that the facts are clear. So, obviously all is not well, and this public airing of differences doesn't augur well for the august institution.
Stay on with us, Javed, as let's listen in once more. The entire interview is going to play out at 8:30, but we have this crucial excerpt of that interview to Karan Thapar, Election Commissioner HS Brahma, admitting to a huge blow to the poll panel's image after the Modi fiasco, but more importantly, he's admitting to differences within the poll body.
Mr. Brahma, focus a little on the problem you've had with the BJP. The BJP's primary complaint is that you denied permission to Narendra Modi to hold a rally in Benia Bagh in Varanasi. Now, given that rallies are the principal way candidates campaign, is it fair to deny a candidate a right to hold a rally in his own constituency?
Karan, to be honest with you, absolutely, I think I personally felt, because since we know, we came to know about the incident day before yesterday night on 7th evening, late in the evening. We are not aware about what transpired between our Mr. Jaitley and others, our senior colleagues. But definitely the mistake in that, I would personally, is my personal opinion, which I feel strongly. the mistake committed by our lower level, at our lower level officers formation, that is our RO and DO level, I think there is some sort of communication gap between our applicant, organizer and our DO or the RO of the Varanasi.
Javed, when you hear the election commissioner, Mr. Brahma, saying that there seems to be some kind of communication gap between the RO and the election commission, is he trying to suggest just merely levels of competency within the election commission, or is he trying to suggest some kind of political involvement in all of this?
Well, certainly he's not suggested that in as many words, but it can lend itself to that kind of speculation. But it also begs the question. What he's saying also begs the question. He's one of the 3 election commissioners. Why did he not raise his voice within the commission? And also, did he ask for an explanation from the returning officer of Varanasi or not? And this is a question which Mr. Brahma also ought to answer. It was well within his rights, and it was in fact his responsibility, his duty to ask questions of his returning officer.
Also, Javed, very interestingly, Mr. Brahma has also been quoted as saying to the group that he's very categorically said that there was some information from the Gujarat police and IB itself that there was a threat to Narendra Modi. So on the one hand, he's saying that perhaps the decision to stop Narendra Modi's rally was in principle not wrong, but the manner in which it was handled, it was wrong.
Well, but then what's the point in hair splitting on Mr. Brahma's part? If he believes and if he's in the know, if he has knowledge of the fact that there was an input from the security agencies in Gujarat with regards to a threat as far as Mr. Modi is concerned, then why raise all these questions as far as the returning officer is concerned? Because one of the reasons that the returning officer gave was the fact that there were security concerns.
Okay, Javed Ansari, our National Affairs Editor, thank you so much for joining me here in the studio. This continues to be one of the big stories that we are following here on Headlines Today. Differences within the Election Commission in the middle of one of the biggest elections in history have come out in the open over the ban on Narendra Modi's rally. We'll continue to follow that story and continue to get reactions on that story. Moving on. Staying with Narendra Modi, in fact, it's a tag that he has never failed to mention in rallies. A tag that he dons with pride, a tag that he suddenly wants everyone to be aware of. But the Congress is now working overtime to turn that badge into his liability. It's now turned into an all-out war over Narendra Modi's OBC credentials. This after the ruling party slammed Narendra Modi, saying the BJP prime ministerial candidate was a fake OBC.